Hey guys, how's it going? Hope everyone's doing good. So this is my second video for the week this week. I wanted to make this on Sunday as well, but I just didn't have time, and I wanted to make it Monday, didn't have time, Tuesday, didn't have time. You get the picture. So I'm finally making it today, so sorry for the delay. I hope you guys understand. But this was something else that I saw on Twitter, and you probably guessed it, it's a clip from a podcast. So basically, this girl was talking to these male life coaches. I don't know who they are. They sound like they're trying to be male life coaches. Like, if you're a guy, you need to be like this. I don't know. I could be completely wrong on that, but that's just kind of the vibe they give off, if that makes sense. Anyways, they're talking about abuse and divorce and what's good for children, and I'm just going to go ahead and start playing the clip because this is absolutely insane, okay? So I'm going to just go ahead and start it and break it down as we go, okay? So here we go.
There's someone that's very, very young and goes into a marriage and has kids when they're like 18, 19, 20. A year into the relationship, it gets really, really abusive. Even though it might be rare from what you guys think.
It is.
If it would happen, what would you recommend for those people? Would they divorce, or do you want them to keep going in the relationship?
Keep going.
You can't divorce. That's not a real thing.
Even though it might be like physically abusive?
You got to endure. People are too...
You want to stick in the
People
relationship?
are just...
See,
I mean, look,
people
I'm gonna be
nowadays
honest.
are just
situation.
Okay, man. So a few things wrong here. So she asked them, she's like, okay, couple gets married right out of high school. They have a kid, and a year or two in, things get abusive. And FYI, when she says abusive, a lot of people think physical. It could also mean mental, for being real. A lot of mental abuse goes completely ignored or is even shunned down upon in some cases. So I want to make that clear. But she's talking about that, and if it's okay for the woman to divorce despite having kids and being abused in a relationship. And these guys are saying divorce is not a real thing. Yeah, it's very real. And if it's people who are doing it are just pussies, for example, that doesn't make sense. And exactly. Now, I get if they were trying to say, well, you can't just divorce for anything, but like if it's an abusive relationship, that's probably best for the kid, I would think. A kid being raised in an abusive environment, I don't think is really good for it. Next thing you know, the kid's going to want to be doing taxidermy and giving drugged up drinks to certain people and doing stuff to them. That could happen in an abusive household. Or that kid grows up, gets married, and guess what? They mimic their parents' behavior from what they saw when they were little. And one of the guys said something doesn't make sense about either getting married young or it doesn't get abusive until year end. There's this thing called the cycle of abuse. I think it's actually proven by psychology, and it basically breaks up an abusive relationship, and it's called a cycle, and that's why people stay in it. Like, it's not black and white, you know? Like, you can't just get out of an abusive relationship a lot of times, especially if the person trying to get out doesn't have a job, doesn't have family, has kids. Like, these are all ways for the person who's abusing them to control them, if that makes sense. And just enduring it, why would you waste your life away just enduring something like that? No one should have to endure abuse. So let's just keep going.
One that might be in that situation, what would you recommend?
Okay,
Endure.
I'll tell
Would
you
they
what.
give up
I'll tell you
divorce?
what. It is such an extreme example.
Endure, guys. Just endure getting beaten with the metal end of the belt every day. Endure it. You're going to be a better person of it. Come on, man. Just stop. Stop talking. Get off the mic. You don't deserve the mic. I don't know what he's saying, okay?
That I can't give a prescription for what other people should do.
What about if two people get married, they have a kid, and then the wife...
He said that's an extreme example. I don't know an exact statistic off the top of my head, but I would say out of 100% relationships, probably about maybe 10 to 15% of them are abusive. So I don't think that's an extreme example, especially when you count in millions of people. I just don't think that's an extreme example. You should split up if you're abused. What do you want to do, especially for the kid, if that's the take these guys are standing on? Say, or let's just say, like, they say they want to do what's better for the kid. Having a divorced household or parents is much better for a child than growing up in a house where they and one of their other parents gets beat all the time. Like, it doesn't take that much IQ to figure out, dude, okay?
Starts cheating. Do you think they should divorce?
Absolutely. Jesus himself said in cases of adultery, divorce is
So you
permissible.
think that divorce is worse than physical abuse?
No,
For the
cheating.
children?
Or cheating, sorry. You think that cheating is...
Okay, so if the woman cheats on the guy, then it's okay for the guy to divorce her. But if he's beating her ass every day, dude, she has to endure it. Bro, come on. These podcasts are getting out of hand, man. And I see it on both sides all the time. Like, oh, this is so terrible. This ain't good, especially for a lot of people who are lonely and they discover this shit and they're like, yeah, you know what? I'm not the problem. You need to endure for this relationship. That's not good, dude. Okay? That's not good, especially when you have a platform like that telling young, impressionable people that abuse is something that you need to endure. No, and if you're going through that, you shouldn't have to endure that. Go tell someone who can help you. And there's plenty of people who are willing to help, but they can't help if they don't know. Alright? And now they're saying, oh yeah, if she cheats on me, that's divorcing because I'm divorcing her because the Bible says I can. Well, the Bible says a lot of bullshit, okay? Like, you can take the Bible, choose whatever verses you want out of it. I mean, really, any religious book. Take what you want to fit your narrative and preach it and get people to follow you. And basically, it's another form of control in a way. And I feel like that's what these guys are doing. Like, you know, you gotta sit down and look at, you know, what's right and what's wrong. And what this guy's saying is wrong.
Worse than physical abuse.
For the
Sorry.
children, yes.
Bruh, how is a parent cheating on their spouse worse for children than watching one of their other parents get abused? Dude. I wish this guy could hear himself, dude. I wish he could, because I have no idea what's going through his head. Like, did he just come on this podcast and be like, yeah, I'm going to disagree with everything this woman says, no matter what she says, you know? Because that kind of mentality that needs to stop ASAP. It needs to stop everywhere, because not everything is black and white. There's so much gray in between the black and white that you can't just say shit like that, dude. You can't say shit like that, man, because it's just not true.
I think I'm not going to say
Divorce-
this is worse.
divorce is worse for the children.
wait.
Divorce is worse for the children than abuse. Guys, if you guys were little and could turn back time, maybe you did grow up in an abusive household. I was fortunate enough not to, but I know there's some unfortunate people that did. Would you have rather had one of your parents endure that abuse? Or would you have them leave and try to raise you correctly on their own in a actually safe environment? Because I know which one I would pick if I was being abused. Like, god damn, man. This is crazy. And this podcast shit just needs to stop, because the guys that are making podcasts are saying shit like this, and then you got the girls making podcasts saying engagement rings should be minimum $70K and they'll break up with their man if it's not. Like, dude, oh, what's going on. I don't get it, but yeah, that's gonna be it for the video. Sorry if it's more serious tone than the other ones. I just saw this and I had to say something about it because this one just irked me. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this one. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Comment what you think down below. I really want to hear what you guys have to say about this because this is just so baffling to me. But oh, and if you didn't check out Sunday's video, I'll put that in the description down below. Basically, some guy traveled to Japan and was telling random people over there that America was going to bomb them again because of what they did to us during World War II. Yeah, it was crazy. And he was doing it as like a prank because he thought it was funny, but it's not. So yeah, I'll put that in the description down below for you guys to check out, and I'll see you guys on Sunday or Monday depending on what. Oh wait, Monday's a holiday. I'll definitely see y'all, so never mind. Have a good one. Peace.